Hello and welcome back to Wireman's Whimsy. It is Junk Journal Wednesday, and continuing with our Extraordinary Flora set, I took some Very Vanilla and I used some Petal Pink and Crushed Curry and Pecan Pie to just kind of swirl around on the piece, and then I stamped it in Pecan Pie with the stamp from the set, and then die cut the shapes out to use on my projects for today. I have created some background paper. I've cut it out on cardstock so I can use it as a page. Printed it on cardstock and then cut it down. So this is 6 by 4.5, which is the size of my page. And I'm working on the back of my Rooted in Stillness page from last week. And this will actually be the next page. I'm going to use these pieces to piece together on that page. But before I do any of that, I want to come in. I'm going back in time and using my Rococo Rose. I love Rococo Rose. It's a really nice kind of, it's a light pinkish color, but it's not kind of bright. And I'm just going to add just a little bit in onto the pieces that I'm going to be using today. And then I'm going to come in with the Pecan Pie and darken up the edges a little bit. So I'm just coming in like this. In the meantime, I'm going to talk about these two cards that I have made to use. I did these on ChatGPT. I created them. I wanted to use those sayings, so I asked ChatGPT to create me some junk journal pieces with those sayings on them, because this week it's been a bit of a challenge this week, actually. Kind of that, who do I feel like I should be? How do I think I should be based on, different societal things, different kind of images of who I should be I've been given over the years from all kinds of people. So this week it's about understanding a lot of why I do things the way I do, what I believe and why I believe it. So the thought processes is to unlearn the person you thought you should be and then learn the person you are meant to be. So, who is it that I thought I should be? And, all these years, and who am I actually? So that was a really interesting question that I ran across in some of the readings that I was doing. And this is another one about clearing clutter and getting out of your own way, essentially. And it applies to a lot of things, but it's, if I didn't already have this, would I choose it for today? So whether you're cleaning out your clothes closet or anything like that, anything that you're holding on to because you think you should, the question to ask yourself is, if I didn't already have this, would I choose it? So I know that there's a lot of things that go into decision making about keeping things, all kinds of things, whether does it bring you beauty, or does it add to your life? Does it bring you happiness? All kinds of things. And it becomes a question. It's like, if it doesn't bring you joy or bring you, make your place beautiful, do you really need it? All kinds of questions like that. But again, if I didn't already have this, would I choose it today? And I was thinking about a jean jacket that I had, in the late 80s, early 90s. It was gorgeous. It was a pale wash denim, had leather fringe all down the sleeves, and I loved that jacket. And would I choose it today? And in my head, I kind of went, you know what? I would choose that today. So that was a really good example to me of, I can make kind of decisions based on past and future and that. So I found it really interesting that, yes, if I had that jacket, if I came across that jacket today, I would choose it again today. And not just because of the jacket or the time, but a lot because it's a representation of who I was at that time. And I think that's why I would choose the jacket again, is because that jacket represents a piece of my life, honestly, that I'm trying to get back, to. So the reason I used the two colors I did is because that mimics the colors that are in here. Now this is I don't want to put this just right down on the background, so I need to see if I've still got any of that tissue left, and I do. I have the tissue left. And I'm just going to use the card to kind of tear that edge. And then I'm going to make sure that this still fits on the page. And I'm just going to tear just a little bit off, and these are straight edges, so I'm going to tear my straight edges. And I took my piece of scrap paper away that I was using to blend on, and I'm going to bring that back. And I'm going to use my pecan pie, and I'm going to blend on this. So let's just pop that out of the way for now. I'm going to bring this in, get our pumpkin pie back out again, and then just add it to the edges. I'm basically trying to take a little bit of the bright off of the pink. Again, this tissue came in a paper pumpkin kit. So I do try and use a lot of the Stampin' Up items in these videos just to show you that you can, you know, you don't have to invest in a bunch of new stuff if you want to try a different paper crafting kind of idea. I'm using my paper pumpkin, or I'm using my paper pumpkin pieces. I'm using my Stampin' Up stamp pads and my blending brushes, all kinds of things to continue on using the things that I already have. I have incorporated using things like ChatGPT and things like that, because it's really incredible what AI can do. And I'm exploring it. I'm making junk journal pages for myself. The free ones are on my website at wiremanswhimsy.ca, and I'm really looking forward to your input on them. Again, I am kind of learning as I go with that. So I'm really looking forward to your input. It is a free download. You have to go through the checkout process, but it is a free download. And I'm looking to put some paid options up on the website for the kind of end of the month. So I'm just going to stick that down like that. I've got that piece of lace in behind. Again, you just kind of layer things down. I'm going to take some of these pieces that I've cut out, and I'm going to tuck them in around the edges. Now these ones I did again in crushed curry, pecan pie, and petal pink, and I'm just going to use some of them on this page. So I'm going to do that like that, and that helps to fix that corner down. And I want another piece for up top. So what am I going to do up top? Maybe I'll do this one up top. I'm just adding things in. You can add bling if you want. Absolutely. I'm just still trying to decide what else I need to add to this page. If anything, it feels just a little bit bare to me. So I'm going to tuck this in between the card and the tissue. And I'm going to do something similar on the other side, just up here. I'm just going to tuck this in right here. And that's why we don't tape the whole thing down. We just tape the sides down. So I think that is pretty much all I'm going to do on this page. I like the brightness, the contrasting colors kind of idea of the kind of the crushed curry in here. Brings a little bit of light to the page, but it also really helps focus on this, that if I didn't already have this, would I choose it today? Just going to move some of those over there. We're going to bring this one in, and I've already inked up this page. Similar thing, this is going to go on here. And you could definitely do this as a little door. You could have a little message in behind. You could do it as a pocket. I did pockets last time. So I'm really not going to do pockets again today. I really want these to focus on the message, because at this point in my journey, this is what I want to ask myself. But what I am going to do is I'm going to take a couple of these pieces, and I'm going to use the Rococo Rose blending brush to add a little bit more pink to this, because there's a lot of pink on this page. And I'm just going to add that into that one, and I'm going to pull in a couple of these little flowers and do the same thing to these. And I'm just going to add that little bit of pink just so that it kind of carries the theme forward. So there we go. There's that. And how am I going to build this page? I've got, like I said, I've got a little bit of this tissue left. I can use that, keeping in mind that I'm going to need to hole punch down here, so I don't want a lot going on that side. I've got some different pieces of ribbon here. I did this one on an angle. I can do this one on an angle as well. So I'm going to leave this pink, I think. I don't think I'm going to change this on here. Or maybe I'll take the Rococo Rose, whatever ink is left on the Rococo Rose brush, and just add it to the edges. Just not a lot, just a little bit. So there we go. Okay, so I will take my adhesive. I'm just going to put some adhesive like this on here, and I'm going to put my tissue down like that. And then I've got that little piece of ribbon, and I think I'm going to just cross it like that. But I'm just going to, keeping in mind this is my hole punch side, so maybe I'll put the ribbon over here, and I'm just going to add some adhesive here like this, and pop that piece of woven ribbon down like that. Just adding some interest and some bits and pieces to this. And I've got this piece of jute, and what do I want to do with this? Maybe I'll just open it up. I'm just going to pull part of it out like that and figure out how I'm going to do this. Maybe what I'll do is I'll put a little bit of adhesive on the back of that like that, and then I'll stick this down into the adhesive just to get that kind of that soft kind of additional piece. And this is going to go this way on here. And I've got this little piece of ribbon that's left over, so maybe or lace that's left over, so maybe I'll just tuck it down onto this corner here like this. So then I've got all of these kind of the 3 different elements here, 4 if you include the background, 5 if you include this piece, and they're all kind of on here like this. So I think that's where I'm going to put that down. I'll put adhesive on the back like that, and we're going to tuck this down like this. And I'm just going to straighten up my page, kind of make sure I'm at a similar angle and a similar place. There we go, just like that. Now I'm going to take a couple of these and I'm going to add them in. And I quite like just the little bit of pink to pull up the pink in here. And I'm going to add that one like that. And then I can take these little ones and pop them in. And that should be okay because my hole punch is going to go about there. And I can tuck this down here like this. And then this one I'll put up at the top. And I'll just tuck that on like that. So we've got this soft kind of edge piece here with that, with the jute that I pulled apart. And then we've got this, and I like the juxtaposition here too. I've used that word a lot today. I like it. This is a very kind of simple printed thing. This is a detailed rose, and I like putting those two together because who is the person, like breaking it down to the most simple thing, building up into something beautiful. So let's see what I've got for bling that I want to pull in on this one. I've got my antique pearls. I don't think I need anything really too bright. I might use just the antique pearls on this. Looking through, I've got some retired things in here as well. But yeah, we'll use the antique pearls. I'll get my take your pick tool and just take out the pearls. Oh, I just need to take out the whole thing. Okay. And I think we're just, I might use these ones that I've already colored and tuck them in over here on this side like that. The ones that are already colored, I'll put a couple down like that. And maybe one on here just to kind of really focus on that. And I think I might use the plain ones on this side. I can always color them, just put a dot of color on them if I want. Keeping in mind, this is the side that I'm going to be hole punching. And Maybe we'll just pop another one like that. Okay, perfect. Now, I wanted to show you on this how I do my hole punching and how I keep it consistent. I made myself a template. This is my 6 by 4.5 hole punch template. This goes to the edge like this. So I pop this right up to the edge, and then I take my piercing tool and I just use the existing hole and I just poke along there. So this is 1 inch in from each end and then 2 inches between the holes themselves. So I just, like I said, I just made myself a paper template so that I'm consistent on all of my pages. And then I use my crocodile. So this is my crocodile, and I think I use this one actually. But now I'm going to come in and I've got those holes, and I'm just going to come in like this, and I think I'm using the wrong side. Yes, I need to use the larger hole. So I'm just going to recenter that, punch it out again. All I'm doing is I'm coming in and I'm got that little poke that I made. I'm lining that right up in the middle like that and punching it out. So there's my hole punch. And I can do the tissue paper on this one. It's not a big deal. I might do it from this side so I can really see what I'm doing. But just coming through and realigning with that hole, and then just punching out that tissue paper. So that's how I do it. I have the template that I use to cut the holes, so they're always in the same place. And that is our 2 pages for today. So thank you so much for watching, and let's create together again soon.